I've seen my fair share of battles, but nothing quite compares to the epic clash at Midway in 1942. It was a moment that would change the course of history, just like the sinking of the Titanic changed maritime safety forever. The Pacific War was raging, and Japan seemed unstoppable. But Midway Island, this tiny speck in the vast ocean, became the stage for a battle that would turn the tide. The Japanese launched their attack on Midway Island with all the confidence in the world. But what they didn't know was that the U.S. had broken their codes. It was like finding the blueprints to the Titanic before she even set sail. The U.S. defenders on Midway put up one hell of a fight, holding their ground against the Japanese onslaught. Meanwhile, out at sea, the U.S. carrier forces were preparing for a counterattack that would rival any naval engagement in history. The tension on those ships must have been palpable, like the moments before the Titanic struck the iceberg. When the U.S. dive bombers found the Japanese fleet, it was like a gift from the gods. They dove out of the sun and unleashed hell on the Japanese carriers. The Akagi, pride of the Japanese fleet, went up in flames. It was a sight that would have made your heart stop, like watching the grand staircase of the Titanic being swallowed by the sea. The Kaga and Soryu followed suit, turning the calm Pacific waters into a hellscape of fire and twisted metal. But the Japanese weren't out of the fight. The Hairyu, their last carrier, launched a desperate counterattack. Their planes found the USS Yorktown and hit her hard. It was a brutal reminder that in war, victory always comes at a price. The U.S. forces hunted down the Hairyu like Captain Ahab chasing his white whale. When they found her, they unleashed a fury that would have made Neptune himself tremble. The Hairyu's death throes were a terrible sight to behold, but it marked the end of Japan's carrier supremacy in the Pacific. But war, it's a cruel mistress. Just when victory seemed assured, fate had one more trick up its sleeve. The USS Yorktown, already battered and bruised, fell victim to a Japanese submarine. The I-168 slipped through the U.S. defenses and delivered the killing blow, watching the Yorktown sink beneath the waves. Well, it was like losing an old friend. As the smoke cleared and the Japanese fleet retreated, the significance of what had just happened began to sink in. The U.S. had dealt a blow that the Japanese would never fully recover from. The Battle of Midway wasn't just a tactical win. It was the moment when the seemingly invincible Japanese war machine finally met its match. And let me tell you, it was one hell of a sight to behold.